Thank you for tuning into our podcast. We are coming to you from Holyoke, Massachusetts. I am your host, Gary, and joining me is Holyoke's very own local historian and creator of the historical tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Como. He offers both public and private tours, as well as presentations of the local canal systems, reservoirs, cemeteries, and churches, as well as various parks and streets in Holyoke, South Hadley, and Chicopee, Mass. Now you actually lead these presentations and tours yourself, is that correct?
That's right, and this one's along other tours, so I focus on that.
So today we'll be talking about the War Memorial of Holyoke. So tell us about the War Memorial Building of Holyoke, Mass.
Okay, I'll tell you about where it is and details about the construction, and also along the way I'll tell you about other things that have to do with it. It's a very popular building because it has a place that equivalent to an auditorium. We're also going to talk about the plaque that has inside of it, and about where these other memorial plaques around Holyoke are, because this is a memorial building. You should know where those other plaques are, and then also about anything that's been improved lately and what it's been doing. So we'll talk about this. But this War Memorial Building of Holyoke was thought about for a long time, from like 1923 to 1937, when it was finally constructed and built. It's a beautiful building. It's in a neoclassical style. You can tell that by the columns on the front. And it's beautiful marble building. Now, inside, it does have one plaque, and I'll talk about that plaque. Just to give you a summary, it's a plaque in a special room to honor the World War I deaths of Holyoke, of which there were 52. And so, this is the reason why it was built. A memorial built to the war dead. Why World War I? Well, remember that Holyoke was growing larger and larger, and so this was a war where a lot of people from Holyoke died. The Civil War in Holyoke was around, yes, but it was much fewer men. And so this really hit Holyoke greatly, and they wanted to honor all these men. And military fraternal groups were very strong back in the beginning of the 1900s, and so they wanted to develop a site for themselves. And in a way you have some rooms in there, but mostly it's the auditorium. So it's also a space where you can rent out when someone needs to have a theatrical play or a presentation. It's a great place to go to, or a musical group. It's a wonderful place to go to. I've been in there a few times. I've never been in their room with a military plaque, so that's something I want to look for. And some things have happened in recent years, so we'll talk about that.
And so tell us about the deaths from World War I and how they are honored in Holyoke.
All right, so every war that Holyoke fought had death in his honor, but this one is World War I death, and it's the only plaque in there. And so there's a plaque that has the 52 men. There's also a book called The Great War in Holyoke, and it honors all 52 of the men, and it also talks about some places the regiments went through in Europe. And so it's a fine book to read. This book is also repeated in Chicopee and South Hadley by different authors. And so this memorial room has this beautiful, gorgeous plaque. So this is a war memorial building devoted to one war. Same with the Victory Theater, which was constructed in 1919, finished in 1920. It was made for the victory in World War I in Europe. So you have two buildings devoted just to that. So this building is very important. There are other plaques around the city. We'll talk about that at some point. But people go there on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, so forth, to see the names on this plaque, to walk around. And it's used as a meeting point for a lot of veterans groups. So like the VFW or the American Legion could meet in here at certain points when they need to.
So quickly, before we continue with the rest of the interview, just to fill our listeners in, if you want to find out more information or sign up for any of his various tours, you can check out his website at holyokecanaltour.org. And there he has both videos of the various stops along each tour and also past and present photos of the historical sites throughout as well. And if you're interested in setting up a private tour, you can email him directly at bobcat4214, capital B, at yahoo.com. And they are perfect for fun educational outdoor activities for the whole family or for your group parties, especially those special occasions and get-togethers. They are also good just for getting outdoors for the day. So, getting back to our interview, where are there other memorials around the city that honor the war deaths of its citizens?
All right, the Spanish-American War, there was 8 deaths from men of Holyoke during that war, and they're honored by a large plaque that's in the National Guard Armory on Sargent Street of Holyoke. And Veterans Memorial Park, which is between Chestnut and Maple Street, you have outdoor plaques or outdoor memorial stones. The largest one is Columbia statue, which has on its base now, and also midway up, the names of the men that died during the Civil War that were based in, or lived in Holyoke. And this was recently renovated through a CPA grant, and so it's nice. There's also a Vietnam War plaque with 8 men's name on it. There's a Korean War plaque also on the northern edge of the park. There's a plaque for the 3 Medal of Honor winners. And towards the south, there's a very large hexagonal memorial stone that honors all the war deaths during World War II of men that were based in or lived in Holyoke. So this signifies that all different wars are now honored of men that died, were from Holyoke that died during one of the wars.
And the War Memorial received grant money and a special honor in 2022. Tell us about both of them.
All right. Now, 2 things happened in the year 2022. It had its upper reaches of its facade near the roof line repaired, so there was black material seeping down from the roof line going on to the masonry. And that was washed off professionally. And so that all 4 sides now of the War Memorial Building are very clear. And it looks very much like it did upon building in 1937. So that was great. That was done by a Community Preservation Act grant. Also in the year 2022, a person I know filed to have it become an entry in the National Register of the United States for historical places. And it was accepted, and it became the 13th entry of Holyoke on that registry. The 14th entry happened in this year, 2023. So the War Memorial Building of Holyoke is now on this list of National Historic Places. And it deserves it. It's been well kept. It's a very important site for most people in Holyoke. It's beautiful inside, and it memorializes the men that fought during World War I. So for a lot of good reasons, it had this great honor unto itself. Hopefully in the future, a lot of good things can happen. I wish there'd be more chances to get into the memorial room itself, and that would be a great thing. And I hope that they keep up their level of allowing auditoriums to be used for different presentations in military groups. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert, for educating us on your tours, and we want to thank our listeners for tuning in. You can also tune into a large selection of our other podcasts and much more at his website. Again, that's holyokecanaltour.org. And again, you can email him directly for private tours or to inquire about anything else at bobcat4214, capital B, at yahoo.com. And be sure to keep an eye out for his upcoming 2024 season tours and more as they become available. Thank you for tuning in.